One of these days, I will do one of these things and it will go completely smoothly right from the get-go. Someday. It wasn't today, but one day this will work on my first try and I'll like have it scheduled in advance instead of just tinkering with it until it friggin' stops fighting me. People, hi! I am annoyed with this thing now. The thing was, I thought I would do this because it's been a bit of a kind of day. I'll do something fun, and I've spent the last half hour combating this thing to try and get it to work. I think it hates my camera, or the webcam at least, which I know is crap. So apologies for that. But yes, hello to, whoa, that's a lot of highs. Hi. Ooh, and to live long and prosper. Streams are always a haste for everyone, don't worry. Yeah, well, just hopefully this will, work better down the line. How are you? I'm okay. It's been a kind of day, but like overall I'm fine. Ooh, new subscriber, just saying. Well, just saying hello then. I love your videos. Thank you very much. Are you going to review Young Justice? I haven't seen Young Justice. I haven't even seen old Young Justice, to say nothing of new Young Justice. Plus, I don't have the streaming, the DC streaming thing. So, no, probably not. Let's see. Thank you so much for everything you do. Your videos mean a lot to me. Thank you. It sounds really egotistical. I don't get tired of hearing that. It's really cool to hear stuff like that. Fellow Slytherin. Love it. 4:26 a.m. where you are. Tina, go to bed. I'm not worth staying this late up for. Well, then again, I guess you were already up this late, so hopefully I put you to sleep, or then I'd be boring. No, maybe not. Hello from Brazil. Hi from the frozen wastes of Vermont. I really should be house cleaning, but so should I. Like, there's a reason that you guys don't see the rest of this room. Hola to you as well, Jennifer. Thank you very much. Inspiring. Dang. I'm an inspiring person. Wow. Okay. I'll take it. Thoughts on Rooster Teeth and Ruby? I haven't seen those either. The thing is, I am kind of all over the place, and one of the things that bites me in the butt is because I kind of dip my toes in a lot of different areas of fandom. People who are really big fans of that whole area are like, "Oh, do you know this?" I'm like, "No, I only know that little bit I dip my toe into." And anime's a little bit like that with me. Heard of the announcement of the new Pixar movie Onward? I haven't. That's news to me. It doesn't have a 2 at the end of it, so, that's good. I'll take that from Pixar. Season 11 of Doctor Who was pretty decent. What one thing would you add to improve it the most? I'm trying to think of the least snarky answer. I mean, honestly, I just want more focus on the Doctor. I feel like we haven't been given the proper highlight to get to know her, which is why I didn't have my moment of really starting to enjoy her until the very end of the series. So, and I think that's an offshoot of the TARDIS being overcrowded, which I'm saying at this point they necessarily need to scrap one of the companions to lighten the load, because I mean, at this point, what needs to happen is they need to because we've now had the arc for Graham and Ryan, they need to get back Bernard a bit so we can have more of the Doctor, and I suppose Yaz, because she's underutilized. What's your favorite show? Well, my favorite show is Doctor Who. I mean, that's never going to change, even when I'm not always thrilled with it. That's always going to be my favorite show. Top writing advice for season 11 or just in movies? Don't come to me. I have a lot of thoughts on like what I think could or couldn't work or did or didn't work about a lot of stuff. I would not actually recommend anyone come to me for writing advice. Certainly not like broad strokes. What's the weather like? The weather. I think actually, you know what? I can tell you at the moment, because we've had a temperature drop again lately. It is currently 3 degrees Fahrenheit. And it is going to go below 0 overnight. And the high tomorrow is 24 degrees Fahrenheit. I live here voluntarily. Figure that out. Are you anywhere near Thetford? Not especially, but I mean, like if you basically live in Vermont anywhere other than Burlington, like you're used to driving wherever the heck it is you plan to go, because you usually have to drive at least an hour to get anywhere. Let's see. Did that one? Oh, hello from Finland. Hello to you too. From the frozen wastes of Minnesota. Oh, yeah. No, I don't need to tell you. Thoughts on Channel Awesome? I don't really have any anymore. I mean, I did my videos on it when sort of the whole thing stuff. I mean, I haven't watched the Channel Awesome video really since all that stuff went down. I'm not saying that no one else should watch. I didn't hear of anything else like changing or general news breaking. I stopped watching it because it felt weird, and then I kind of realized I'm not actually sure that I miss it. So, like, I think I kind of got what I was going to get out of that channel. I mean, but that's me. Just started watching Vera. Oh, thank you. I like that people enjoy that as well. Have you been watching CW Elseworld? I haven't. Like that's one of those things that generally, like the few CW shows that I watch, which right now is, well, primarily it's Legends of Tomorrow and sometimes Supergirl when it's better than the tail end of season 3 was. I haven't really watched Flash or Arrow out. Well, I mean, I did 2 seasons of Flash and stopped, and I haven't watched Arrow at all outside of the crossovers. But when I watch those shows, I catch up on them over the summer when they hit Netflix. I just prefer to binge through them. Again, when they're good. Got to review Star Trek Discovery. I haven't seen Star Trek Discovery. I mean, if I ever do, maybe I will, but I don't know. I feel like I'm going to be so late to that conversation by the time I get around to it that I'm not sure I'm going to have much to add. Let's see. I missed some up here. Do you hope the 14th Doctor will be male? I don't have a simple answer to that. I'm going to do a video eventually about sort of talking about whether or not after Jodie Whittaker, it should be a man or should be a woman. I'm not going to, and when I eventually address that, it's not going to be in the context of hoping for a specific actor or actress, just talking the broad strokes of what it would mean overall for the show if they kept the Doctor as a woman for at least another regeneration in a row, or if they went back to a man. Because I feel like there's a lot of baggage with either option that I kind of just want to talk my way out and ramble through. Let's see. There was some more I missed up here. Did you see the 1970 Scrooge film? I did not. Wow, I need to go back quite a ways. Yeah. Okay. How much do you love Ace from Classic Doctor? I really do love Ace. Ace is great. Ace is, I mean, right now, and realize I've got a lot of Classic Who to see. She's probably my favorite Classic companion right now, like just above Sarah Jane Smith. Second trailer for Godzilla 2 came out. I have seen it. I said on Twitter that I've got too much stuff going up this week and I wasn't going to do a video on it. I really thought that looked cool. Then again, the trailer for the first Godzilla movie looked really cool, and it was only about the last 10 minutes of that movie was really cool. Hopefully they learned their lesson from that. But like what was in that Godzilla trailer looked sweet. What did you think of Ruby Rose's Batwoman? I haven't seen the Elseworlds yet. I want to see that because I love Batwoman. I love Kate Kane. I love that character a lot. Will you review Evil of the Daleks eventually? Yes, I mean eventually. I'd like to get around to all the classic stuff, but I mean, don't ask me about when that's going to happen. I have no idea. Brightening my day whenever you upload. Oh, you're welcome. I like the name Muffins with Raisins. I actually like raisins. That seems to be a weirdly controversial thing now. It seems like everyone's like on a campaign against raisins. Let's see. Definitely Peter Davison era vibes. It's funny. I do have I get a little bit of a Peter Davison vibe off her specifically, which might be part of why it took me so many episodes to sort of feel like I got her, because Peter Davison's one of my least favorite doctors. Apologies to any Peter Davison fans out there. I don't know. I kind of don't get him. Let's see. Favorite comedy series? Well, right now it's The Good Place. That might be favorite overall. I don't know. I can be prisoner of the moment. Whatever is in my head the most when you ask me tends to go to the top of the list. It can sometimes be hard for me to like take a step back and think long term. Favorite new Who doctor at the moment? It's still Capaldi right now. Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis? Oh boy, someone's always going to ask that. That's another Star Trek Discovery question. Marvel or DC? At the end of the day, if you're going to make me pick one, which let's be very clear, no fan has to do, you are not legally obligated to choose one over the other. But if you're going to like make me choose only one, I'm going to go Marvel. But I mean, I grew up more on Marvel than I did DC. I feel like I connect with those characters more. And I like the vibe of Marvel a little bit more. And that's not me saying DC isn't as good or better. And it certainly can be if you're going to nail down individual stories at times. But like, it's just Marvel plays to my own sensibilities and sort of things that I like a bit better overall. That said, some of my absolute favorite stuff has been DC, or at least published under a branch of DC, like under Vertigo, because like Transmetropolitan and Sandman, and I love that stuff. Nothing else from Marvel is as good as that, but overall, I do enjoy Marvel a little bit more. 34 degrees in Central Maryland. We would call that a heat wave in Vermont right now. If it's warm enough that the snow starts to melt a little bit, that's a heat wave this time of year. A lot of LGBT in Star Trek Discovery. I've heard that. It's funny, since I've started doing the LGBTQ plus topics, that I've gotten a lot of recommendations for everything from books to comics to TV shows, movies. With what people either think is good representation, or they want to get my opinion on whether or not something's like problematic, and like I haven't had the time to get to any of them, but it's cool to get those recommendations. I do enjoy that. Hello from New Zealand. Oh, Middle Earth, very cool. Will there be more classic Who reviews during next year's hiatus? Any particular stories? Well, I mean, the classic Who reviews, that's still a monthly fixture right now. I'm debating whether or not I'll ever do it more than once a month. Maybe. I mean, the thing is, like, the overdue Who reviews are easy for me to do because, modern era Doctor Who episodes are 45 minutes. Classic era stories are usually a 2-hour minimum. So it's harder for me to like work those into my schedule. It's part of why I only do one of those a month. Same with Big Finish. It's just a bigger time commitment. Eventually, I'm going to have to figure out a way to pick up the pace in the classic reviews, because otherwise I'm never going to catch up. But I haven't figured out how to do that yet. Are you going to do a review on Shada, the 2017 version? I honestly don't know. I mean, I'd like to see it at some point eventually. It's not top of my list because I know that story. I have the audio version of Shada that had the Eighth Doctor in it. And while I know, they tinkered with it slightly for a little bit of continuity and personality of the Eighth Doctor, that the story was not substantively changed. So I feel like I already know the story, even though I haven't seen that particular iteration of it. I would like to see it, but it's not really on the docket. Do you ever watch Defunct Land? Never even heard of that. Not sure what it is. Do you ever watch Clever Dick Films? Clever Dick Films has come up in my recommendations, and other people have mentioned them. I cannot remember if I've actually seen any of their stuff or not. Like, if I have, I must have been distracted or something because it didn't stick. So I guess the short answer is no. Let's see. Ever seen ContraPoints? I have. ContraPoints does some very interesting stuff. I have to be in the right mood for her stuff. But she tackles some interesting stuff in some very interesting ways. But again, I have to be in the right mood to take her stuff in. Oh, hello from Costa Rica. Oh, well, yeah, you're not freezing your butt off down there. Check out Terry Pratchett. Yes, closest I've come to. I mean, Terry Pratchett was actually involved. Good Omens is the only thing Terry Pratchett's been involved in that I've actually read. But of course, my lead in for that was Neil Gaiman because I love his stuff. Let's see. Ruby Rose Batwoman was kind of a wasted commodity. She had no personality, but that was the fault of the script, frankly. Well, I mean, I'll have to see one way or the other on that. If that turns out to be the case, that will be a shame. Do you look what do you look forward to in the New Year special? I really try not to set specific expectations. I just want a good story. I mean, that's kind of all I ever want. Do you think the Dalek rumors are true? Well, yeah. Like, somebody asked me if I was going to do a video speculating on who the evil in the New Year special is going to be, and I looked at the preview trailer again and I went, well, it's either going to be the Daleks or it's going to be something we've never seen before. Like, I can't imagine why it would be anything else. And that's not based off like having spotted, like clues or giveaways that like, oh, Dalek. Like, what else would it be? Idris Elba's too expensive now. I'm assuming you mean to play Doctor Who. Like, yeah, he would be. Like, if we were going pie in the sky and like money was no object, I would love Tilda Swinton to be the Doctor. I know that's completely unfeasible, but like, I would love that. Nice katanas, by the way. I'm a Chinese Dao sword kind of guy. Cool. I don't know how to use any of these properly. I actually do know how to use a bow staff. I actually have had a little bit of training in that, but these are for fun. And I mean, most of them are, they're decorative. They're not combat ready. Anyways, let's see. 14th Doctor should be ginger. I did my video of saying things that Doctor Who should never do, and I said the Doctor should never be ginger. People took me a little bit more at my word than I intended. I should have been a bit more overt that I was kind of joking with that one. But like in my mind, if the Doctor ever becomes ginger, I want, whether it's a man or a woman, I want the Doctor to look in the mirror and go, I'm ginger. I don't like it. But, we'll see. Do you script your videos? Rarely. Basically, like occasionally, very occasionally, I have notes. Usually I'm just sitting down and rambling, and that's kind of it. The only ones that are really scripted at this point is some, not all, but some of the LGBTQ plus representation videos are scripted. And that's because in those I am going in with the intention of making a specific point. And when I know where I'm going with something, as opposed to like my reviews of Doctor Who episodes or whatnot, which are very much me kind of rambling my thought process through, when I know where I'm going, I want it to be a little bit tighter, and I want to have what I say directly contribute and move everything forward. And I want to be sure that I don't accidentally slip up on my wording. So those I will script, because kind of in a way I feel like there's more at stake if I screw those up. But other than that, very, very little of what you see is ever scripted. What's your favorite Doctor Who outfit? Boy, that is a tough question. I mean, I'll always think the Fourth Doctor's look is the most iconic. I do like 13's look. I'll be honest. I mean, partially I'm biased. I get to wear it, so and I think it's a cool look. But most of them are pretty. I mean, 6 looked like garbage, but most of the rest were pretty good, or at least worked for the personality of the characters. You should rank the sonic screwdrivers. Someone has said that, but I mean that, like, they're functionally all the same thing. So all they will be doing is ranking the aesthetic, and that just feels like way more of a personal taste thing than, you know, because when I do a ranking, I like to be able to kind of explain why this is higher than this and have more than just, I just like it better. And I feel that's all the justification I could give for preferring one sonic screwdriver to another. I don't know. We'll see. Are you going to review Dr. Horrible? I wasn't planning to. I mean, I've seen it. I know the music. I know it well, but no, it's not on my docket anywhere. Have you ever wanted to review Sarah Jane Adventures? Not really. The thing is, I've seen, I saw the first 2 seasons and bits of the 3rd season of Sarah Jane Adventures, and they're fine, but they're so very clearly pitched at a way younger audience than I am. I never really got into them. And every now and then people will ask me, like, will you ever review Sarah Jane Adventures? And actually, Torchwood falls under the same category. And in both cases, like, I didn't like them enough to want to revisit them. And I would have to, if I was going to do anything like, say, you know, a top or bottom 10 episodes, or, you know, episode by episode reviews, I'd have to revisit that stuff. I kind of don't want to. Sorry. Let's see. I like your shirt. Thank you. Like, it's weird. I wore this for, I think it was the Harry Potter and the heteronormative standard video, but the Slytherin thing I was wearing cut off here, so everyone's like, "Oh, Gwar!" I'm like, "Oh." Let's see. Trying to catch up. I am pretty well behind on these questions. Did you get your teleprompter? I did. And then the videos that I have scripted, which I mentioned, the LGBTQ plus ones, I do actually make use of the teleprompter on that. How you doing? I'm doing good. I hate it. Why have you done this? You've broken the illusion, man. I always thought your background was massive. That's just because you haven't gone far enough back in the videos. I didn't used to have it, you know, tight enough on here where this was the whole thing. You used to be able to tell that this is actually not very large. I'm very sorry to shatter illusions. Let's see. If anything, I'm on a campaign against muffins. Oh boy. Oh, we've started a baked goods war in the comments. Oh dear. I did that one. Let's see. Are you scared of A Good Place season 4? Not really. Like, I was scared for season 3, but season 3 has been so good that, like, at this point, I just kind of trust Michael Schur and that he knows what he's doing and that he knows where he's going. So I really don't. Like, it's just been So good. I like DC characters, but Marvel's movies are higher quality. Yeah. I mean, DC movies, I mean, not at least for my personal taste, excepting Wonder Woman, they haven't been good. And even Wonder Woman, it does kind of fall on its face in the third act. I mean, that No Man's Land sequence is amazing, but like DC's best movies, and not like the current DCEU, which they're not even calling it that anymore. I can't even remember what they're calling it. But DC at its best can do astounding. Like, I mean, The Dark Knight is still an amazing film. The original Superman, the movie, is an amazing film. I still think the Tim Burton Batman is a really good film. So, like, when they get high, they get really high, but wow, DC films are inconsistent. Marvel absolutely has a consistency in the quality of its films that DC has not managed to get yet. Best answer to screw with DC versus Marvel question is to say Image. See, I don't have it in my heart to do that because I was reading Image in the 90s, and that's still what Image is in my head. I know it's like a totally different output they have now, but like I think Image, and I can't help but think of like Savage Dragon and Spawn and Wildcats and Youngblood. Oh God. Like even as a joke, I don't think I could bring myself to say it. DC has Swamp Thing, Sandman stuff. Again, look, DC has great stuff. When I say that I prefer Marvel, that's not me saying DC is junk. It's me saying if you're going to force me to choose, which nobody has to, I'm going to favor Marvel. That doesn't mean DC doesn't have good stuff. Jeez, people. Come on. Next Doctor will probably be an unknown or a TV actor from BBC's group of 20 actors. I mean, who knows? I mean, to be fair, like 3 out of 5 of the modern era Doctor Who actors have been mostly unknown. David Tennant, he was kind of on the rise, but he wasn't really known. Matt Smith, nobody knew who the heck he was. Jodie Whittaker was known within the BBC because of things like Broadchurch, but like I consider her to not be except at least not outside the UK. Like I knew who Peter Capaldi was. I knew who Christopher Eccleston was. Even before they had the roles, I knew who they were. So, favorite Doctor Who episode? Modern era, it's still Heaven Sent. Classic era, it's City of Death. Between the two of those, I don't know. What's your favorite Linkara storyline? I don't know. When he does the storyline stuff, that is kind of fun. It's kind of an add-on though, so I don't. I haven't like thought of, oh, this was an especially good one. I mean, I'll be honest, I have a tendency to skip a lot of the in-between stuff and kind of jump to the conclusions because he's actually really good at like the kind of triumphant confrontations at the end of all those stories. And the buildup is fine, but you know, personal preference. Do you think if season 11 Doctor Who would still have Murray Gold, would it be perceived a little better than it was? I don't think that would make or break it. I mean, I think a fair number of people are missing Murray Gold and his approach to the music. And I don't think there's a problem with the approach the Series 11 took, you know, with the more ambient noise as opposed to the bombast. And actually, that said, I actually listened today for the first time the 13th Doctor's theme in isolation because it had never stood out to me during an episode. But actually hearing it in isolation, I'm like, actually, that's pretty good. I didn't notice it, but it's decent enough music. Have you seen the TV show Lucifer? Yeah, I saw 3 episodes and I bailed. I wasn't digging it at all. Have you heard that Marvel's now making League of Legends comics? I didn't know. Like, I'm not reading monthly comics. I haven't for a long time. Have you seen Carmilla? No. Hold on. I need a drink. Hold on. Give me a second. I swear I know this is a wine bottle. It's actually water in here. I promise. At least I hope that was water. Okay. Hello from Chicago. More people from Chicago. Very cool. More Big Finish. Yes, I will do more Big Finish. It's like I said, that's going to continue to be monthly, same as the classic era Doctor Who has been. Let's see. Have you ever seen Peaky Blinders? No, I haven't. Your peaked cap would suit it well. I don't doubt it. Oh, this thing scrolled down on me when I didn't want it to. I gotta move it back up. Give me a second. Okay. I think I'm close enough. Let's see. Do you think Aquaman will be a hit? I honestly don't know. I don't think Aquaman is going to make as money as Warner Brothers wants or possibly even needs it to make. I think word of mouth is going to ultimately make or break it and determine how successful it is. It's not going to be what they want it to be, but that's also because they have unrealistic expectations at this point. How are you dealing with snow where you are? With a snowblower. Did you kill Raphael and steal his size? Yes, I did. No. Raphael's my dude. That's my favorite turtle. Do you have a P.O. box address? I'd love to send you Christmas presents. And thank you. Yeah, there is a P.O. box address. It's actually in the description of every single video. So if you just pull up the description, it's right there. Let's see. There's a Legends of Tomorrow episode called Legends of Meow Meow. Oh, I haven't yet because I'm probably going to catch up on Legends over the summer. But oh God, I love that show. Any interest in the Sonic movie? Not really, because I don't have a dog in that race. I've only very casually and limitedly played Sonic games, like back in the Genesis era. I never read the comics and I never watched the cartoons. It's not my fandom. I got nothing going on there. Let's see. If you could design your own Doctor Who outfit, what would it look like? Oh God, I have no idea. Like my sense of fashion is really hit or miss sometimes. Oh boy, I don't even know. Children of Earth would be a great review. Now, see, like that I might, because Children of Earth I think is the single most consistently solid thing that Torchwood ever did. Like series 2 of Torchwood isn't awful, but it starts great and it ends good. And the middle, I cannot remember a dang thing from the middle of that thing. Do you have high hopes for season 12 of Doctor Who? I'll always have high hopes for Doctor Who. What my expectations will be, I don't know. I'm still kind of figuring that out. But like, I'll always have high hopes. I want the show to be good. I'm wearing a David Bowie Isolation Tour tee. Oh, cool. Very nice. Let's see. How about professional wrestler Sting as the 14th? Okay, I'm not even dealing with that. Will you do a Q&A video of yourself? Oh boy. I don't know. I'm reluctant to do another. I've done Q&As before. I did one for the when I hit 10,000 subscribers. I did another one when I hit 20. I'm reluctant to do one again because I would have to basically edit down the questions I get. And the last 2 times I did it, I answered every question I got, and I kind of like doing that. But now with the channel the size it is, like I know I can't handle that workload, and I don't know if I have the heart to cut people's questions. It hurts me to do that. It's one of the reasons I have trouble logging off this. I don't like cutting people off and making them feel unanswered. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say never, but that's sort of the hang up, my own personal hang up. Do you like the Star Wars prequels? I do enjoy Revenge of the Sith. I think it's still a fairly flawed movie, but I do own that one. I don't own Phantom Menace, and I don't own Attack of the Clones. So I guess that kind of says it all. Not sure if you answered this before, but I noticed the Ghibli figures, wondering which is your favorite film. When it comes to Studio Ghibli, it's My Neighbor Totoro. I think that is the purest distillation of just about everything that Miyazaki is absolutely brilliant at. I adore that film. Do you like Paul McGann's regular outfit or his Dark Eyes outfit? I need to like look up the Dark Eyes stuff. Like I know he had like a unique outfit and a unique Sonic and stuff like that, but like I haven't listened to it and I haven't looked at the material that went along with it, so I can't really answer that one. One thing I love about casting a new doctor is being thrown into getting to know an actor or actress whose work I haven't seen before. Therefore, I'm never hoping for anyone specific. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as far as that goes. If you ever had a TARDIS, which of the Doctor's control rooms would you want, and what camo would you use? I mean, I would want the 8th Doctor's interior. I mean, I love that interior set. And I mean, if by camo you mean the chameleon circuit, if the thing worked, it would be automatic. So I wouldn't even have to do anything. Let's see. If you like to laugh at stuff that's so bad it's hilarious, watch Mountain Monsters. I'm actually not big on the so bad it's good thing. Like, it's not a philosophy I really engage in because it kind of plays to the same thing that like cringe humor does. And again, not judging anyone who likes that, but I don't. And I feel like that kind of thing falls under the same category. Like I enjoy, like, say, Mystery Science Theater 3000, but not because I enjoy bad movies, because I like the way that they riff. Do you think DC should branch off and be its own studio like Marvel? Well, they can't. I mean, DC is owned wholly by Warner Brothers, and technically DC has its own film division. So, like, they can't do what Marvel does. The reason Marvel is as autonomous as it is, even within Disney, is because it was already its own thing when Disney bought them. And then Disney is just allowing them to continue to operate the way that they were. DC, when they started trying to make a cinematic universe, that was already wholly owned by Warner Brothers. So, like, it's just not a comparable situation. It can't be the same. Who would you like to see guest star in Doctor Who? I don't know. I just don't think of too much of that sort of stuff. Love Batman Returns. I actually don't love Batman Returns. Like, well, here's my thing with Batman Returns. Batman Returns is a pretty good Tim Burton movie. It's not a very good Batman movie, though. Ever thought about doing your top 10 sci-fi series? I haven't really. Partially that's because there aren't that many series that I've seen like the entire run of. And so I always feel weird either praising or failing to recognize something that like I haven't even seen everything of. So I don't know. That's, again, kind of a hang up for me. Are you planning on covering another series than Doctor Who coming up? Well, I mean, I'm going to be doing Gotham. I'll do episode by episode for Gotham when that starts up. I'm really looking forward to the 5th season. And then when last season of Game of Thrones kicks up, I'll do that one as well. Once those wrap up, I don't know, because like up to this point, the only shows I've done episode by episode reviews on have been Doctor Who, Gotham, Westworld, and Game of Thrones, and 2 out of 4 of those are ending. So I don't know if I'm gonna try to find other shows to like fill that gap or not. I need to figure that out. The thing is that there isn't a ton that I really make a point of watching as it airs. I'm much more likely to binge stuff at a later date. So I mean that's part of it. Do you think the next Doctor after Whittaker will be another woman, or will they return to a man? I kind of answered that question in that I'm kind of punting that down the line for a video topic at a later date. I know a Dalek is the most likely, but do you think New Year's special villain could be the Valeyard? Am I the only person who doesn't have any interest in seeing the Valeyard thing come back? I feel like that and the Ronnie keep getting bandied about as like bring them back, and I'm like, why? Well, I mean, in the case of the Ronnie, I just don't think she was ever any good as a character. And with the Valeyard, like, it was an interesting enough concept, but I'm not sure there's that much more to be mined from it than they actually did in that story. Like, it worked as a revelation in the Trial of a Time Lord, and I don't kind of think you can get much out of that hasn't kind of been done elsewhere. The whole like alternate future evil version of yourself has actually kind of been done to death in almost any long-running series that has a magical or a time travel component at all. So like I feel like that whole concept is not nearly as fresh as it was when the Valeyard first got introduced. People are going to send you muffins now. If people do send me muffins, like either raisin or chocolate chip, I don't like I don't like cranberry or blueberry, or pumpkin muffins aren't bad though. Let's see. Elseworlds was amazing. Just being a DC fan. Yeah, I did hear pretty good things about that. You got to cosplay as Desire. Oh, yes. I honestly would really like to cosplay as Desire from The Endless. I feel like I would need other people to cosplay with as other members of The Endless. You probably couldn't get. I actually do have some friends who would be willing to cosplay as Despair, but you couldn't actually do that and be allowed in, not do it accurately, and be allowed into a con. But you know, if I could go to a con and you know have a destiny, a death, a delirium, a dream, to all go in like en masse as the Endless. Oh God, that would just be awesome. Derek Jacobi as the 14th Doctor will be fun. Well, that ship sailed. He is great as the War Master, though. If you haven't listened to that audio, like you should, if you like the Doctor Who audio stuff at all. Did you know people like you in Brazil? Surprisingly, I've had like, I don't know how many people in Brazil watch me, but what I will say about my Brazilian fans is that you have a very high percentage of you reach out to me. Like I hear from you guys in pretty decent numbers, considering that according to my analytics, you're a fairly small percentage of my audience. So props to that. Finally caught you live. Hi, big fan. Well, thank you very much. Favorite Star Wars movie? New Hope. It's always going to be my favorite. That doesn't mean I think it's the best movie. The best Star Wars movie is Empire Strikes Back. My favorite is A New Hope, because that's always two different questions. Did you ever read Alan Moore's Promethea? A little bit. That actually, Promethea is on the docket for the podcast I do with Liz, my partner, called Tough Like a Girl, where we review graphic novels and trade paperbacks for comic books with a female protagonist. So Promethea is on the docket. I don't know when we'll get to it, but it is on the docket. So we'll get there eventually. Do you have opinions on Blake 7? Only that I know it's a thing that exists, and people say very nice things about it. I've never seen any of Blake 7. Who do you think the writers should be for season 12? I'm not gonna. Like, I don't know who's working in British television. Like, I have no business saying who should or shouldn't be writing. And we know Chibnall's coming back to be the showrunner, so it's not worth speculating on who should be running the show. So I don't really have an answer for that one. Which classic Who villain should be brought back and hasn't been in the modern era? Omega. Crying out loud. Like, geez, people. Let's see. Watching City of Death now, I got a free BritBox trial. I actually really like BritBox. That app, at least for me, has been absolutely worth it. One of my favorite episodes is the 11th Hour. That's a good one. That is a very good one. Would you like to see any Big Finish stories adapted for the main show? None of the ones that I've listened to, and like Big Finish at its best, no. Because my favorite thing about Big Finish, when it does this, and at least for the stuff I've listened to, it does more often than not, is it does stories that would not work as an episode as well as it does in an audio medium. Because they're not restricted by budget and a bunch of other stuff, and they can do weirder, headier, trippier concepts and stuff that I honestly just don't think would play as well. So not really. Do you think Series 11 Doctor Who was actually as widely hated as the fandom makes it seem? No, I really don't. Again, I tweeted about this a couple days ago, which is that and I noticed this after seeing the results of a few different Twitter polls, not like big announced polls where people could theoretically organize a bunch of people who agree with them to go and load the voting, but the kind of Twitter poll that's up for an hour and somebody's followers vote on and they come out, and I'd seen a number of them, and I remember thinking, I forget the exact tweet, but I basically said, so according to the internet, everybody either loves the new Doctor Who or they hate it. Nobody has a middle ground opinion anymore. And then basically every single poll I see that has more than 100 people voting on it, the vast majority of them are right in the middle going, it's okay. So I think most of us would have liked to see an overall more universal positive response, but I don't think it's nearly the universal negative that some people are painting it to be. Will you be reviewing the Doctor Who audio story Scherzo at some point, or Scherzo? I don't know how that's pronounced. Yes, eventually. Thoughts on the recent Eccleston drama? I wasn't aware that there was any, so I don't know. I'm if it's not related to the actual production of anything, I probably don't know about it. I don't follow, celebrity gossip drama stuff. I never have. I kind of don't care. Let's see. I did that one. Wow, I am so far behind. Oh, I'm never gonna catch up. I'm really bad. I gotta get better at answering these things fast, but I ramble here just like I do in my videos. So go figure. I will never forget the soundtrack from The Impossible Planet. Such a masterpiece. Holy cow! Yes, it is. Archer Studios got to go. Have a good night. You probably already left a while back. Let's see. Do you think the 13th Doctor's character was developed adequately? Yes, I just don't think that development was put on display as much as it should have been. Have you seen Penny Dreadful? I saw the first episode. I kind of liked it, but not enough to immediately launch into the next one, and I didn't. It didn't have momentum for me to keep going. My sister does that too. Drink water in a bottle of vodka. Yeah, I mean it's I finish a bottle of wine. I end up with this really nice thing. I'm like, I'm not gonna throw that out. Besides, it saves me having to go all the way downstairs for water. Just keep this handy. Refill it every now and then. It's wine. You'll never know. Let's see. Nobody will ever use that wine bottle chugging moment and put it out of context. Winky face emoji. Oh boy. Hello from California. Hello there. And oh God, from the UK, 3 a.m. What are you doing up? Goodness. Favorite sci-fi universe. Probably Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Reviews are middling, and Aquaman has way too much competition. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Aquaman has an uphill battle, but we'll see what happens. Will you ever rank the individual episodes of Doctor Who in each individual series? Maybe. Like I'm still trying. I've got plans into 2020 for videos, and there's a lot of stuff that I'll probably do sooner or later. When I discovered you, I lost it because the Satan Pit was my first episode too. That one really does grab you. Is that Dumbo behind you? No, Dumbo is not anywhere behind me. I don't know if you're spotting Totoro or somebody else. I don't know what else you would think is Dumbo. I got Totoro, Hedwig, got my dragon, got Bun Bun, Ein, Gizmo. Let's see. What's your outside perspective on Brexit? That it's a mess. Like, I'm not going to give my opinion on whether or not it was a good idea to do, but the execution of it is, yeah. Whew. Leave it at that, I think. Do you dig American Horror Story, or have you even watched it? I have. I'm not current on it. I started Roanoke, but I wasn't kind of in the mood. So I'm like, I guess I'm 3 seasons behind now. The only one well, no, that's not true. There's of the 5 seasons I've seen, 2 I didn't really like, 1 I kind of liked, and 2 I loved. Season 1 was fine. I loved Asylum. I really did not like Coven at all. I really enjoyed Freak Show, and Hotel was a mess. So it's a very up and down series, but being an anthology style show, like, you know, having a bad season doesn't mean you abandon it, because maybe it's better again next season. In fact, it has been. Could you talk about the new additions on your shelf? Okay, I'm trying to think what's new since the last time I actually singled this stuff out. So Ein is new. We've got a little adipose scattered around a few places. I've also got forest spirits from Princess Mononoke. Those are new. The TARDIS is new. Leia's not new, but she's moved because Ein's where she was. I don't think there's anybody new over there. I mean, you know, another little forest spirit guy. I think that's everything that's actually flat out new from like my 10K video, actually identifying everything. Let's see. Speaking of pants, boy, I missed a segue. Do you sometimes do videos without pants? Any YouTuber who says that they have never recorded a video without pants on is lying. Who else is listening to this while doing university assignments? I do not blame me when your assignment is handed in late. All right. Would you plug my Brothers in Time podcast again? I mean, if my mentioning it counts as a plug, hey. Are you looking forward to Good Omens? I am, because I like the book. What is the show you are an immense fan of that people might be surprised you watch? I don't know off the top of my head. I feel like most of the stuff that I really love I've been very upfront about. So I'm trying to think, would there be anything that I'm... Well, you know what? I actually really, I don't watch too many anymore. I just kind of got out of the habit again. But I used to really enjoy cooking competition shows. I used to really love Chopped. I liked Next Iron Chef. I actually liked Hell's Kitchen for a bit. Yeah, MasterChef I enjoyed. So yeah, I haven't watched any of that stuff in a couple of years now, but I used to actually quite enjoy it. Um, how about they just go for broke and get Helen Mirren to be the next Doctor? And look, if they could do it, I would be so on board with that. Do a Q&A with previous submitted questions, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Do you like SW8? I'm assuming that's Star Wars 8, which would be Last Jedi, and my thoughts are on the record for that thing. Let's see. Cat Bus Nation. Okay. Favorite Star Wars character? I mean, it's probably Han Solo. Boring answer, but it's still true. Have you seen The Room? I haven't. As I mentioned, the So Bad It's Good thing, not really my bag. Like, I've done a little bit of that sort of stuff. I had some friends, they haven't done it in a while, but they would occasionally do what they call margarita movies. Movies so bad you need alcohol to get through them. And those were fun, but that was fun because of the environment. Like, a whole bunch of us got together and like a mixed drink built around, meant to somehow relate to the movie was prepared. I saw some really, really bad movies that way. I saw The Apple, which that's a weird movie. And that's how I saw The Happening and Mommy Dearest and Can't Stop the Music, which is the Village People movie. And the one I proposed for that was Fire and Ice, which, boy, that's something else too. Have you ever watched Attack on Titan? Did about 3 episodes, wasn't grabbed. 3 episodes is usually the point at which I'll bail on something if I'm not pulled in. Sometimes I'll power through, but usually if I'm 3 episodes in and I'm not grabbed, that's when I go like, I guess it's not for me. That's what happened with Attack on Titan. Any movies you refuse to see beside the Disney remakes? Not like on principle. Like, those are kind of the only things that are like on principle, I won't watch those. But other than that, it's just like, I won't watch them because it's just not my kind of movie. So, but it's not something I'll get, righteous anger about. Let's see. Article 13. Oh, yeah. Article 13. I haven't checked to see if we've got new news on that. It's one of those things I'm afraid to get updates on what's currently going on because sometimes I just am not in the mood to get depressed. Let's see. New to your channel, been watching you all week. You're great. Thank you. I watch your other channel from time to time as well. Oh, I'm glad you enjoy that. I've got more updates going up on that. Like that channel kind of went, well, not barren, but it's been very sporadic. But I do have stuff in the pipeline for that. Let's see. Bit of a back and forth going on with in the chat room. Who from Game of Thrones would you like to see play the Doctor? I'm tempted to say Charles Dance. He might be too dark, though, like just as a presence. But like that's the first one that comes to my mind. Thought you did Black Mirror. Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. That's the other show that I do episode by episode reviews on is Black Mirror. I forgot because Black Mirror comes out on its whenever they do a new season kind of schedule. So I forget sometimes. Have you seen Friends? Bits and pieces. I mean, I grew up in the 90s. It was hard to avoid. Never really quite my thing. Netflix is going to be doing series of Cowboy Bebop and Freddy Krueger. What do you think of that? Well, I already have a video up on my thoughts on the Cowboy Bebop thing. Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street series? Really? I don't even know what to think of that. Do you have a dream cast for the Doctor? I don't, because I don't really fan cast. It's just not my area. This may never happen, but what American actor or actress would you like to see play the Doctor? None, ever, ever, ever. No American should ever play the Doctor. Like this one, I'll put my foot down on. Whoever is cast, it needs to be someone from the British Isles. Like that's not negotiable. Which would you rather see? A series of Capaldi with Missy in the TARDIS or a full series of the Eighth Doctor? Oh, now see, that's a tough question, but I'd go with a full series of Capaldi traveling with Missy. Like I dream of a series where Missy is the Doctor's companion. Oh man. I think people mention the Ronnie and Valier just to point out that they know Classic Who. Well, I mean, like to be fair, there aren't that many Classic Who villains that haven't already been brought back. It's kind of a short list at this point, so maybe that's part of the reason they keep popping up. You should try Supernatural. Yeah, with what 14, 15 seasons, whatever's going on. Like I've had a lot of people recommend it to me over the years, but like it's daunting. Put Wilf and Graham together, Grumpy Old Men 3. That'd be interesting. Let's see. Let me see here. Probably going to be wrapping up before I've hit an hour. So probably going to wrap up before too much longer. So let me try and catch up. Do you buy Big Finish CDs or do you buy the digital downloads? I do the digital because that's how I listen to them anyway. Plus, it's often a little bit cheaper. Have you done any Hartnell reviews, or are you thinking of doing any on your channel? I've done 2 Hartnell reviews so far because I did The Unearthly Child and the Daleks. So yeah, there's a couple. I'll get to more of them. Familiar with American Gods book or show? Read the book. I remember enjoying it. Not my favorite game, and I haven't seen the show yet. Been meaning to. Have you seen the original Tomorrow People? Have not. Do you like Abby Arcane from Swamp Thing? I don't know that character well enough off the top of my head. Do you play any instruments? When I was in grade school, I played the trumpet. I couldn't actually do anything with a trumpet now if you were to pick one up and hand it to me. So that is way back in the day. Bring back the Dream Lord. Yes. Oh man. Is Making Friends on the docket for Tough Like a Girl? Actually, I don't think it is. I'm gonna have to. Oh, Tim! Hey, Tim Price. I know that guy. Not currently, but I'll look into it. Have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons? Yeah, I am part of a gaming group that meets not as regularly as we would like to. But yeah, I've done D&D. Favorite Godzilla movie? I haven't seen all that many. I've probably only seen 4 or 5 Godzilla movies. Of the ones I have seen, King Kong versus Godzilla is my nostalgic favorite because I watched it a lot as a kid. What do you like better, Angry Doctor or Very Sad Doctor? I mean, I prefer a doctor in a good mood, to be honest. But if you're gonna make me pick between those two, I'll take Angry, I suppose. Archer Studios came back. Favorite fantasy universe? Probably Labyrinth. When it comes to fantasy, like I do enjoy epic fantasy, like Lord of the Rings and whatnot, but I like weird fantasy. I like fairy tale kind of fantasy where like the rules don't make sense. My hovercraft is full of eels. Wow. That's a good reach. Lovely Monty Python reference. Did you hear Sony's making spinoffs for Into the Spider-Verse? Yeah. I mean, I figured they were going. If Into the Spider-Verse is a hit at all, of course Sony's going to make spinoffs. Sony is desperate for some reliable franchises. If Doctor Who could cross over with any other show, what would you pick? Probably Legends of Tomorrow, because I think the doctor's head would explode seeing these rank amateurs mucking about in time. The Eccleston thing, he just freaked out at a random worker and the police had to get involved. Huh. Nope, didn't hear about that. No opinion to give. How far in advance do you film videos? It varies. Usually about a week, maybe 2 weeks. A couple of things I actually end up getting a month or so in advance. That's usually the LGBTQ plus topics, but that's because, since unless like there is a big news item on that, I only do one of those a month. So if I have like a string of inspiration on them, where I have a bunch of ideas for stuff and I end up scripting a bunch of them out, I'll shoot them while like I still have, a lot of passion for the idea. But the result is I end up several months in it. Like I've got the January one already shot for that. And actually that's been shot for 2 months already. But by and large, it's usually a week out. Also because stuff gets bumped around, because I'll also turn around stuff in a day when things like trailers drop. So, kind of answered that already. Do you have pets? I don't. My daughter does. She has a hamster. I don't currently have any. What do you think of The Haunting of Hill House if you've seen it? Okay. Oh boy. I've seen 2 episodes of it. It is very good. I don't know if I'm going to watch any more of it. And if I do, it's going to be at a very, very, very slow pace. Because it's come up in other topics before, talking about some specific types, shows and whatnot. But basically, childhood trauma is hard for me to watch. And Haunting of Hill House is basically childhood trauma, the series. So it's tough. It's a tough watch for me. Have you watched Scrubs? Never really have. Should Sean Pertwee play the third Doctor in the 60th special? I mean, I think he could. I'd be down for it. But there is a part of me that is like, as good as David Bradley was as the first Doctor, there is a part of me that, like, at a gut level is kind of iffy at the casting of lookalikes and imitators for old Doctors. I don't know. So kind of mixed on that. Like, if they were going to do it, he's who they should get. But let's see. Have you watched Black Books or the IT Crowd? No, I have not seen either. Would you be curious to watch Evangelion when it hits Netflix next year? I don't know. How many episodes is that? I feel like Evangelion is one of those things that's been going on forever. And I have a feeling if I saw the episode list, I'd probably be intimidating out of it. Have you seen Neverwhere? I have. That was a shame. Because actually Neverwhere, the book version, is my favorite Gaiman novel. Not my favorite Gaiman thing at all. That's still Sandman. But for his novels, Neverwhere is my favorite one of his that I've read. It's not, it's 3:19 a.m. in England. Should I go to bed? I hope you did, especially considering that was like 15 minutes ago that you asked that. Should I go back to college or get pizza for dinner tonight? I'm not up for giving that kind of life advice. Can you check out Luke Newman's Doctor Who fan film series? His channel is DW2012. I mean, I'll give it a look. Again, when I find, like, the motto of my life is when I find time. How are we doing on that inventing more hours in the day thing? Kind of need them. I got into Red Dwarf after your video. Oh, wow. And my favorite character is Rimmer, too. Will you do any more videos on Red Dwarf in the future? I don't know. I'm not planning to, but I wouldn't rule it out. Are you much of a bookworm? I used to be. the thing is, though, at this point, like I don't have long enough stretches of free time to get through books. Like if I find a spare hour in a day where I'm not, working on this or working at a job or raising my kid or working at a burlesque show or seeing my partner, like if I find an actual legitimate free hour, well, I could read a couple of chapters of a book that I probably haven't picked up in a few weeks to a month, and I may have to backtrack one chapter anyway, just to remember what the heck was going on. Or I could watch an episode of a TV show and actually finish it. Guess what usually wins? I did used to read a bit more. Favorite books, Restaurant at the End of the Universe and The Last Unicorn. Two very unpopular opinions. Clara's my favorite New Who companion. Matt Smith is my least favorite Doctor from New Who. I mean, you're entitled to those opinions, so I'm glad you found stuff that you like. What do you think of the Schalke Doctor? I am actually going to talk about Scream of the Schalke eventually, so I'm gonna hold off on that. Would you enter the Big Finish Short Trips writing contest they hold once a year? I did not know that was a thing. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Do you think we can have a dwarf doctor like Peter Dinklage or a black Indian doctor like Dev Patel? I mean, I really do think it needs to be somebody from the British Isles. That's honestly kind of my only restriction at this point. If it would and I mean, Peter Dinklage, as good as he is on Game of Thrones, he is American, and Dev Patel is Indian. But I wouldn't like. I think I kind of agree with Jodie Whittaker when she talked about having her real accent on. I think that and I know that Tennant did fake his accent, but I do think there's a real validity for what she said about I'm not going to fake a different accent because I need to be concentrating on doing this character. I think there's a validity to that. And in addition to that, if it's somebody that I know isn't from there, it's going to bug the heck out of me. That's me personally. Ever watch My Hero Academia? I have not. Did you see the Sonic the Hedgehog? What is it? What? I don't know how many times I have to say that Sonic the Hedgehog is just not my fandom. People still ask. Like, I get that it's a decent sized fandom, but like, it's just not me. Have you read the Jurassic Park and Lost World novels? I read Jurassic Park. I started to read the Lost World and got bored. And that was 20 years ago? No, more like 23 or so. Long time ago. I'm old. Let's see. Should DC just reboot their cinematic universe, come back with New Year's and carry on being a mixed bag? Neither. They shouldn't worry about rebooting at all. What they should do is with each film, focus on that film. Don't worry about how it fits into a greater continuity. Basically, they don't need to reboot. What they should be doing is abandoning interconnecting the stuff until the franchises are on their own feet. I mean, that's what they should have done in the first place, honestly. Would you be open to having Moffat contribute to future episodes? I don't know. As a one-off, maybe. I mean, when the guy was good, he was great. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I don't think he should come back as showrunner for the same reason that I don't think they should ever have the Doctor regenerate into an actor that already played the part previously. I think the minute the minute that the show starts looking back more than it looks forward is when it becomes just a circle jerk. Favorite horror flick? I always have a tough time with that because my sort of feelings about horror movies are very kind of iffy. What I mean by that is there's lots of elements of horror stories that I like, but usually the actual narratives of horror stories I tend to not like so much. Trying to think off the top of my head. I mean, The Descent is up there. That's a good one. Like as soon as I stop the stream, I'm gonna think of like the ones that I really like and like smack myself in the head. All right, I am gonna. Yeah, I really got to wrap this up soon, guys. So I'm gonna do. I don't know. I have 10 fingers. I'll do 10 more questions. What are your thoughts on Classic Who being on Blu-ray? What season do you want them to make? I don't have a ton of thought on that because like I'm not jumping out to buy the stuff. Like I only buy physical media if it's something like I absolutely want to be sure that I will have for the rest of my life. And there isn't a ton of Classic Who that I feel that way about. I want to see all Classic Who, but right now streaming does me fine for that. Jeff Goldblum as the Doctor. No! American, again. Are there any other Harry Potter videos you plan on making anytime soon? Sort of. Kind of a Harry Potter adjacent video that I already shot with Liz. That'll be coming out, I think, later this month. Let's see. Kind of scrolling. I don't want to pick questions that were ones that I had that like I kind of answered already. Favorite musical? I mean, right now it's Next to Normal, partially because I really want to be in that show. Do you think it serves the Doctor's character to be predominantly angry? Predominantly? No. I think when the Doctor is default excessive cranky, he doesn't work too well for me. That was a big part of what didn't work about 6, and it's part of why Series 8 Capaldi is my least favorite Peter Capaldi. Let's see. Will you see a Doctor Who Hollywood movie if it's made? I mean, I probably would, but I'd hate that it existed. Let's see. I think I'm done. What have I got? 4 more, I think. Have you ever watched Krypton? I have not. Favorite Netflix original right now? See, I'm trying to think of ones that like are completely Netflix originals as opposed to shows that they like took over. Because in that, if I included that, that would be Black Mirror. Stuff that is 100% their own. God, I don't know, because most of the stuff I really liked had good first seasons and then not very good second seasons, like Jessica Jones and Stranger Things. I guess it's still Jessica Jones because I do love that first season so much, but we'll see what the third one's like. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna take 2 more. Let's see. Sweeney Todd is favorite musical? No, but I do like that one. It's not my favorite though. Notice me, senpai. I've noticed you. I responded to some of your stuff earlier. And favorite movie, Ghostbusters. Boom. I think that was 10, unless I lost count of how many fingers I have. So thanks everybody for tuning in. This was